This episode is not called Apartheid and Appreciation.
We got crab! Come eat crab with me!
He does look a bit Palpatine, doesn't he?
It was me floating in the sky in a diaper. What we should be doing? Destroy more planets?
Sushi Jackknife. 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 Sushi Jackknife.
Yeah.
Stop yelling at me.
Are we recording
Yes,
now?
we're recording. No. Guys, we were just joking about Nathan punctuating all the bits tonight with that sound. If you would like to not see that happen, please give us a review on iTunes.
What you should do is text number 26704 on your phone and hit yes or no.
Oh.
And that will give us the vote results.
Didn't know we had that technology.
We don't.
Oh!
I don't know who you're going to be talking to. It could be real fun.
You've reached the Swiss colony.
I saw...
That's how you place an automatic order for, what was it, beef log?
Yeah. I saw online, or not online, on the news this morning, one of the ads in between for a local law firm now has like a quick text line like that.
Oh, really?
I guess.
Like text help me to 77794.
Like you get hit by a car and you're like, well, I need a lawyer right now. That's, I mean, I don't know if that's ingenious or a complete waste of their time.
They call them...
I think it was Morgan and Morgan.
Oh, yeah. They call them ambulance chasers for a reason.
Do you feel like if a law firm has multiple lawyers with the same last name,
Yes.
they should drop the and just stop, like,
Just
you don't need
Morgan.
Morgan and Morgan.
Yeah.
Just Morgan.
Just Morgan.
Law firm.
mean-
We're all Morgans here. That's a Morgan. He's a Morgan. I'm a Morgan. We're all Morgans. It's implied if you drop the and Morgan.
That's true. I sort of feel like, lawyers aren't the most non-verbose people out there.
That's true. They must not pay by the letter for their signage.
Unlike writing where you try to, you try not to overuse words.
The Hemingway rule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lawyering is like,
Hemingway would hate
oh my
lawyers.
God. It's more like Moby Dick, right? Because he was getting paid by the word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I can't read Moby Dick.
Oh, that's why you shouldn't attempt to read Moby Dick.
Too many words.
Welcome back to Sushi Jackknife.
Hey,
There are probably too many words in this show.
or not enough.
Could be.
I mean, we'll find out.
What was the sound? I don't know why I'm encouraging this. Oh boy. Been a bit of I wouldn't call it a hiatus. I would call it a scheduling cock-up.
A cock-up?
Cock-up.
A cock-up.
I've been listening to a lot of British people talk. We have work going on, construction work going on at work.
They call it... Are they making a lot of cock-ups?
No, they're actually, they are cock-up-less thus far.
What, are they just walking around
True professionals.
going, well, didn't make a cock-up there, and then they move on, and that's where you learn the phrase?
They have a Sharpie, and
Yeah.
they put little smiley faces everywhere they didn't screw anything up.
No cock-up?
Yep.
No cock-up? Big cock-up here. No cock-up.
We'll be calling the plumbers back in. This pipe goes to nowhere.
I feel like that's what would happen if I were a plumber.
A lot of pipes going to nowhere.
I would just, kind of get bored every so often and be like, I want a pipe there. It would look better with a pipe there.
You're the artistic plumber.
Yeah. We need some piping right here.
Yeah.
And all it does is move the water back into the main pipe. Water comes up from the main pipe, back into the main pipe, we're good.
Years later, they breaking down the walls to fix the abhorrent plumbing problems they've had, and they're like, he did circles. There are circles in the wall in the pipes.
So we're going to have to do a complete overhaul. It turns out the previous plumber here did loop-de-loops all the way around the room.
And wrote his name over there.
I didn't even know you could do that with piping, but by golly, he did. Loop-de-loops.
Life finds a way.
That's why I'm not a plumber.
Yeah, so cock up. Yeah,
cock up.
They don't say screw up. They don't say fuck up. They say cock up. Yeah. I've cooked it all up.
I don't like it.
You know?
I don't like it. There are certain British things, like
Isms.
sayings. Yeah, that I don't care for. That's one of them.
Additional examples?
I'm just annoyed with their insistent pronunciations of words.
Yeah.
Basil.
Instead of basil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like watch any show with Gordon Ramsay. He's going to
Basil.
lose his mind at some point when someone says basil. Because it's basil. Except it's not basil. You're in America.
I think it actually is basil, probably, right? Like, it's got to be an Italian word or something, right? Like,
We're definitely not in Italy. This is America. It's basil.
it's basil. They say, the one that confounded me, in fact, the first time I heard it on the radio, I didn't know what they were talking about. Aluminium.
Yeah, no, actually, I like it.
Yeah, you like aluminium?
That's a more correct pronunciation.
Yeah, it is. Aluminum sounds kind of like you're a bit of a doof
Yeah,
when you say it, versus saying aluminium.
yeah.
Aluminum.
Like they're hitting every letter in that pronunciation, and we are not.
That's true. We kind of slur the back end.
Aluminum.
The back end of it gets slurred.
Aluminum foil.
Yeah.
Aluminum foil.
Tin.
Yeah.
A lot of people do say tin, and they mean aluminium.
It used to be tin.
It did.
There used to be tin foil.
Yeah.
But you know what? We're not in the 60s anymore.
Yeah.
Grow up, people.
Was it poison or something? At some level. Just hard to get tin.
Maybe more expensive.
Probably more
I
expensive.
don't know.
But it helped, I miss the good old days.
Back in the
days of tin and roses.
That sounds like the worst Mumford & Sons album.
That's the title of my memoir about when I was a 50s housewife. Well loved by my husband at the time. He always bought me the best tin and adequate roses.
Rarely beat you.
Yeah.
Which was a highlight in the 50s.
Yeah. A few times he came home and I didn't have my heels on.
Yeah.
And it was fine. Is the dog getting a tambourine? Did Podcast Dog just pull a tambourine out of a bucket? What am I hearing right now?
Not a tambourine.
What is it? I thought I heard the jingles of a tambourine. Oh! No, she can't have that either.
Can I have it?
Yeah.
Is it too loud when I have it?
It's too loud right now. It's very loud. It's obscenely loud right now. I don't know what that's called, but we got that at World Market.
It's a clicky thing.
It's like it's this gigantic seed pods that are hollowed out and dried, and they're attached to a stick, and they're all each on string. And I forgot we had that, actually. It makes a
From
heck of a
World
noise.
Market, you said?
From World Market,
You yuppie.
Oh, you know it, babe. I don't mind being a yuppie.
I love
Market.
going to World Market.
Oh, it's my favorite place to go to.
Because I don't know if everyone even has World Market. Is it nationwide?
Yeah, I think it's probably.
Anyway, they got all the furniture.
Yeah.
Whatever. Who cares about the furniture?
Nobody.
They got knobs. They got books.
They do.
No
They
one
just
cares
have
about
knobs.
these things.
Yeah.
But at the back.
Oh, yeah.
And I never buy anything here. But at the back, they have all of the European foods.
Oh, yes. And teas and coffees and yeah.
It's bizarre.
Yeah, it's great.
And you're walking around looking at it going, why would you eat that? Because it's a lot of British like tea biscuits and
digestives,
things.
I think.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, cool. Well, that looks like a thing you wouldn't be able to chew.
They all come in like just a tube, essentially, too. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
I like the oat cakes. You ever have oat cakes?
That sounds terrible.
No, it's not a cookie. It's not supposed to be a cookie.
Okay.
It's Scottish. It's these little round...
You're not selling it better by saying it's Scottish.
Okay.
They're not known for their cuisine.
It's the kind of... It's like a little cracker. Mm-hmm. And you're supposed to put butter on them or jam. And you just eat it like that. And they're really good. It's not as like crispy as a cracker, though.
Is it better than toast?
It's...
Because you just described toast.
I did, but it's a little bit better than toast. Yeah.
Okay.
I would say it's better than toast.
I'm not going to try it.
Oat cakes. No, it's good.
That's just a name.
Shortbread. That's a Scottish
That sounds
thing.
disappointing.
Yeah.
Shortbread's disappointing.
You don't like shortbread? I love
not
shortbread.
Really. Here's a thing everyone should know about me. any hard cookie item,
Yeah.
be it a shortbread, be it a biscotti,
Yeah.
anything like that, no,
Not for you?
not interested.
Do you know what biscotti? You probably do because you did a wine thing recently. You know what the original intention of biscotti was?
I don't know what the original was.
You don't dip it in wine. I mean,
You do dip it in
you
wine.
do dip it in wine. You don't
Not
dip it in
interested.
coffee.
That sounds terrible.
It does. But it is good in coffee. But yeah, originally what they would do is they used to have these big, I don't know how I know this. This is information downloaded into my brain from the ether somehow. And but they used to have these big parties and they'd put out a giant, like a punch bowl, but it's just full of wine.
Yeah.
You know, and you would go and you would dip it and you would pour it in your glass. And it was like communal too. I think certain times, certain kinds of parties, they would just pass the giant bowl of wine around and you would
This
just sip out
sounds
of
like
it.
my kind of party.
Woo! But other times you'd get a glass and then you'd have the biscotti and you dip the biscotti in the wine.
We're going to drink so much red wine, we're going to have really bad heartburn. Yeah!
Nothing worse to be hungover on, I think,
I don't know
than
about
red
that.
wine. Oh,
All I know is, in my life, 1 glass of red wine, delicious.
Yeah.
1.5 glasses of red wine, perfectly fine.
Yeah.
2 glasses, heartburn.
really?
Done.
It is
Done
very,
immediately.
it's very acidic, isn't
And
it?
then the rest of the weekend, because inevitably it happens on a Friday, and then the rest of my weekend is ruined.
Yeah.
I have heartburn, and I have to eat salads and just
Oh.
salads constantly.
Oh, you know what would be good for that? Oatcakes.
No, not going to do it. Maybe a biscotti would help.
It might. You know what? That might be
That might be a purpose to
why you're
biscotti.
screwing it up. Yeah.
I'm not going to do it.
Someone needs Gumby. Google. I wish you were live. Google what's the purpose of biscotti. Damn it, I'll do it.
You're treating Gumby like he is
Here?
Siri. Gumby.
Gumby, what's on my calendar for tomorrow? Did I tell you what? Because we have the Google Home, and then my wife has Siri on her phone.
Yeah.
And she will often say to her phone, "Hey Google."
Yeah.
And then the phone will go, "I think you've got the wrong person."
You know what you should do? See if you can get Siri and your Google Home to speak
To each other?
back and forth
Oh, that'd be great.
until they started plotting.
Plotting?
Yeah. Once they started plotting, you wouldn't think it was so great.
I wonder if we could get them into a loop where they just keep going.
Oh, I'm sure
For a
there's
while.
a way.
We'd have to figure that out.
Yeah.
We could definitely do. You could definitely. This is almost cheating, though. You could definitely do like a talk to text thing. Like you could type something, and then you could. But you would still be generating, the content.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Can you change what your Google Home does when told certain things?
I don't know. There probably is a way.
Like, could you
for that.
program, because
Yeah.
this would be a very fun thing for you to do to your wife. Change it where whenever she speaks to Siri, the Google Home wakes up, but never responds to "Okay Google."
That would be fun.
So she would say "Okay Google," it'd be dead silent. Then she'd say whatever you say to Siri, "Hey Siri," and both of them would go, "Yes." You called?
There's not much interesting about biscotti.
I would say there's next to nothing interesting about biscotti.
Biscotti are used in the sauce for a dish of duck stuffed with turnips.
Is that
Sounds
you've been
disgusting.
looking up biscotti this whole time?
I googled what is. I did Gumby's job. I googled what is biscotti for, and Google didn't just immediately respond. Enjoying.
I feel like if I want a baked good, I don't want to have coffee with it.
Yeah.
And vice versa. I don't want to have to dip things in my coffee. I don't want floaties in my coffee. I just want my coffee.
Yeah. And I think in wine that'd be actually really gross.
Oh, it would be terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, all the biscotti, maybe there's,
Little chunkaroonies in there.
I don't know, because I'm also weird about this. With wine and things like that, sweet is off the table. I want savory.
Yeah, you like dry.
I don't.
as well.
I don't like the chocolate and stuff with it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Biscotti, every biscotti I've ever had, very sweet.
Oh yeah, they usually are. Yeah, they're supposed to be.
No.
You know what my favorite thing to dip in coffee is? Biscoff
No, don't.
cookies. Those are
Stop
so,
it.
I love that shit so much.
Stop it. I can't tell you how upsetting this is to me.
Is this the one? Is this the episode where you're like, I can't do it anymore? You go home to Tanae.
I'm going to storm out
and-
right now.
Yeah, and you say, honey, he jumped the shark on me tonight.
I mean, all he would talk about is dipping things in his fucking coffee. I don't even know.
Couldn't take it anymore.
Just coffee left and right and dipping. Yeah, no, my wife spent time in Europe. Like she did a semester in college in Europe.
Ah.
And so she's all about Biscoff and like the biscuits that go with your tea or your coffee or
Yes.
whatever.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about them.
Where was she based when she stayed in Europe?
On the border of Germany and Switzerland.
That sounds nice.
It's really weird. It's technically Switzerland, but I think it's inside the German border. It's very
Those
strange.
Germans always trying
and
to get.
I probably have it backwards or something. It's like it was both countries, but neither one at the same time.
I think the top, besides the major places in Europe, I think the top place I'd want to go to is Belgium. And the reason for that is it's sort of like split between German and French. And they got this like mix going on. And they like perfected chocolate and beer. Like pretty early on.
I'm gonna see how well you know me here.
Oh boy.
Of all the European countries,
Yes.
what's the one I would fit in best at?
Oh.
I'm 100% certain on
As
this.
a person?
As a person.
As a person.
There's not a shadow of a doubt in my mind which country I could live in.
Not like Romania.
No. It's not Romania.
You would probably, I think you would hate any of the like Baltic countries.
Yeah. I like them in theory,
Yeah.
but in practice it would be too idyllic and I would
Yes.
I would be very upset
You'd
by
be
how
so
happy everyone
annoyed by
was.
it. I almost want to say Germany,
No.
but you're not you're not like a hell-bent efficiency person.
Nope.
You're more artistic than that.
You're getting close. I can feel
It's
I can
not
feel how
Spain.
close
I
you're
think
getting.
Spain is too loose for you.
It would be way too loose.
Yeah.
I would like to visit Spain. I'd like a paella.
yeah.
But I want to go to Spain, get the paella, head back to my home country of
It's not France.
no
French
no,
people
no.
drive you insane.
Oh no, I don't know that French people drive me insane, but they're also opinionated. That I couldn't
Yeah.
do it.
Portugal's basically Spain.
Yeah, it's the same.
Spain on the coast.
It's like poor man's Spain.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's someone from Portugal or who has visited Portugal that's going to listen to this and be upset,
Yeah, sure.
but whatever.
Yeah, fuck them. You would fit in the UK, but I do think it would drive you mad.
Oh, you are so close. You're so
I'm
close.
so close. Mm-hmm. Ireland?
Yeah! I have actually had this active discussion with my wife
Really?
of where in Europe could I live? Ireland.
That would
That's
not
it.
annoy you.
That's it.
Yeah.
Ireland is the only one.
Because they're they're literate. Uh-huh. That's a big one for you.
Yeah.
They are... They have quite a sense of humor. It's very wry humor, which you appreciate. They're not the British in the sense that, like, I think the British are genuinely depressed.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
And the Irish are not depressed.
No, they've learned to cope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Irish are like better natured British people.
Yeah.
For lack of a better
I think
way of
that's
saying
true.
it.
I think the Welsh might have a hand, a dog in that race
Yeah.
as well.
Oh, the British are just at the bottom for cheeriness.
I love the British, though. I unabashedly am an Anglophile.
It's why every single British TV show you watch, it's mildly depressing.
Oh, yeah. Like, as funny as it can be,
right.
It's also like, if you stop and think about it, you're like, yeah.
Like, the difference between the U.S. office and the U.K. office.
Right.
In the U.S. version, Steve Carell, you're rooting for him. You know, he's an idiot.
He's an idiot.
But he's lovable.
He's a lovable idiot.
Ricky Gervais, you gotta hate the guy because he's a terrible human being. He is a garbage person.
Exactly. Have I talked to you about Father Ted? I was watching this show for a while.
Yes.
Father Ted is kind of like that. It was like a 90s British sitcom. Well, it was actually an Irish. And you know what? Never mind. Everyone in that show was Irish. It was a British show.
But
everyone in the show, it was based in Ireland. Everyone in the show was Irish. Practically, or Scottish.
Right.
No, I don't think there were Brits in that show.
Yeah, Ireland is the country I could live in.
What about me? What do you think?
Nah.
Rome if he wants to. Right? Not Rome, Italy, but just roaming around. Roam around the Europe.
I know it's not Europe, but South Africa.
I
know you're a big apartheid fan.
Oh, yeah, huge. It's my favorite thing. I mean, you know, yes, it was bad, but boy, it sure produced a lot of great culture.
I mean, I guess so.
Yeah.
Have you seen any of Trevor Noah's stand up?
Yes, it's really good.
Yeah.
Really funny.
If anyone listening has not seen that, go look up Trevor Noah's stand up. He grew up in apartheid era South Africa.
Yes.
With a African mother and French.
Yeah, I think
father?
so. I think so. Something like that.
So he was stuck in the middle of the apartheid. Very good stuff.
Trevor Noah wakes up every day and he goes, well, I don't know why I came here tonight.
Yeah,
here I am.
If anyone deserves a whole series of memoirs, that guy deserves. I know he has one.
Oh, yeah.
He needs like 10. There's no way one can cover everything.
His comedy is very good, too, I have to say. He's hilarious.
Yeah.
You got something in your craw?
Well, I'm still picking
where I'd be in Europe. I have an idea. Now, okay, I think there are a lot of places in Europe that I could exist in and be happy. But there's one in particular that I think kind of suits me, and it's a bit. I don't know if it'll. I already said I'm an Anglophile, so let's rule out England. I like England a lot.
Okay,
but yeah, I don't know. They would probably piss me off after a while.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, let's be honest. Living in England is essentially like living in America, but with different slang.
Yeah, basically.
I mean, there's a lot of we've borrowed their culture, they've borrowed our culture, back and forth.
Rome if he wants to. Love the B-52s.
I feel like you really want me to pick Italy.
No, because I'm saying Rome.
Yeah.
Actually, I would love to visit Italy. There's not much in Italy that interests me enough.
There's nothing in it.
Does that make sense?
I can't say there's nothing.
Yeah.
There's some stuff, but
I'm just not like turned on by Italy that much, you know? Same, Greece would
Spain.
actually. Yeah. That's what I had in mind.
Yeah, Spain.
Yeah. Ham. It's a dream of mine to go eat the ham in Spain.
You know, in this scenario, you're still vegetarian, though, right? You can't eat ham in Spain. You have to eat like the meat replacement ham.
As long as they fed that meat replacement acorns and didn't let it move, it gave it a very nice life. Yeah, Spain. And I think here's why. I think there's something about the vivaciousness of the culture that appeals to me. I think it's not like your main drag Europe. I mean, it is, but it's not.
You want paella.
I want paella.
And that's what you want.
I want ham. And I like Spanish wine, actually. I like Spanish wine a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
And I like the party kind of attitude. I like the idea of having dinner at night.
That is their societal schedule.
Yeah.
Really
schedule. Yeah.
Is I do like that.
Yeah.
I like the dinner is at 10 o'clock. We're up till midnight, 1.
Yeah.
You know,
We get up at 9 or
let's
whatever.
have a siesta.
Yeah, in the midday. Yeah.
I like that schedule.
I do too. It's nice. It feels so luxurious to Americans to think about that because we're very regimented.
Well, I think that's every country for the most part, though.
Yeah.
Aside from England
Yeah.
and a couple others.
Probably Germany.
That we are very go go go, never stop.
Yeah.
You work 40 hours a week, but really you work 50 hours
Right.
a week. Keep going. And the other countries are like 1 month vacation.
Yeah.
Let's take a 1 month vacation.
Sounds like an
Let's
idea.
do that.
Yeah.
They're trying to live.
Exactly.
We don't live.
They put that, we exist. We don't live. We subside. We subsist,
Yeah.
even. But we don't live.
Exactly.
Yeah. We almost wrote a poem right there. If apartheid hadn't happened, we would have never had that sound.
Oh man.
This episode is not called Apartheid and Appreciation. No. No.
I mean, not yet.
I mean,
you haven't titled it yet, but
I thought about it, but I actually know a couple people from South Africa. Well, they're brothers, but they're not black.
well, that was
Yeah.
actually going to be the first question
Right.
I had, because if you hear anything about a person from South Africa, really that has to be the first question because
Yeah.
you need to know which of the two scenarios they're coming from.
Right.
Because being white from South Africa, kind of a sweet gig.
Yeah.
Not bad. Being anything besides white in South Africa, not great.
No, and they do speak. They speak the Afrikaans language.
Yeah.
which I thought. I guess I didn't understand the history. I thought that was the language. Maybe it was forced on the black people there, and which essentially made them like unable to do anything else because they were sort of hamstringed into speaking this like language that no one else speaks in the whole world, basically.
Right.
But anyway, they speak it, and listening to them like lapse into it, it doesn't sound like any other foreign language I've ever heard. It doesn't sound Asian. It doesn't sound Latin.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like German. It just sounds a little bit like German, but it's like this. It's just totally different. It's
What
its
is
own
the
thing.
basis of
I think.
it, do you
Well,
know?
I don't know, but it wasn't it the Dutch that took over South Africa.
Yeah.
It's the Dutch, right?
Which, by the way,
freaky deaky Dutch.
going through history classes, because in my history classes, we never talked about apartheid or anything.
Oh, yeah.
Who would have thought at any point in time there'd be a bad thing to say about the Dutch?
The Dutch. Cocoa. Wooden shoes.
It's all of a sudden, as an adult, I'm hearing about apartheid and learning about it for the first time because in high school we didn't talk about it, in junior high we didn't talk about it, in elementary school we didn't talk about it, in college we didn't talk about
Yeah.
it because I only had to take U.S. history, knew nothing about apartheid aside from the general concept of what it was.
Right. Exactly.
I did not see it coming.
I didn't. I didn't either. The one inkling I had was I knew this song, which I think I've talked about on the show before, by the Specials AKA or whatever, called "Free Nelson Mandela."
Yeah.
And I love that song. And go listen to that if you get the chance. It's just a really cool song. And so I had an inkling of it from that, but that's about all.
Yeah, it's one of my major sticking points with the public school education I got. Because I think we've discussed this on the show. My school was a very good public school.
Yeah.
Like it was a good county. It won awards for being a good public school until Bush changed everything. And then,
Were you left behind?
well, we went from being a blue ribbon school to being a problem school, whatever the title was.
Yeah.
In 1 year, because they changed the criteria, and all of a sudden the test scores were being pulled down by the special ed program that we had at our school.
Oh, no. They lumped that all in together?
Apparently. Like because our school was, the way the school district
my
worked, there were 3 high schools.
Yeah.
They funneled all of the special education students into one program at one school so that they could better serve them.
Sure. Yeah.
It's better to have them all together, have all the resources together
there,
instead
yeah.
of spread out.
Right. That makes sense.
But yeah, that screwed up everything. And all of a sudden, we're a school that has all sorts of problems because we had, the kids that couldn't read the test.
Right. And they gave those same kids that test.
It's
they
the
must
same
have.
test, yeah.
Oh my God. That's horrendous.
Yeah, anyway, that's beside the point. We learned a lot of things in school. I feel like my science education was really good.
Oh, cool.
My English education was very thorough. The history needed work. And we never discussed Nelson Mandela, South Africa, apartheid.
Gandhi?
We never no.
Yeah,
No.
us neither.
We never really made it. One year we made it past World War II briefly.
Oh, yeah.
Like we got to the 50s.
That's what we did.
And that was the longest we made it.
I take it back. We got to Vietnam, but we stopped in the 80s. I remember stopping at Reagan.
We never hit Vietnam. We never hit
Wow.
the civil rights movement.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot of stuff to miss.
Wow.
And I don't know if it was a teacher issue because it was like we would be at the end of the year rushing to try to jam in everything.
Right, exactly.
Or if it was a schooling issue where they're trying to put too much into maybe it was the year we watched Roots. We watched way too many
Civil War. We do in this country cover the Civil War like to the detriment of other things. Do you think?
we do. It's
It's important.
I mean, it's important
but-
to know.
Yeah, it's important.
But we didn't watch like the full Ken Burns Civil War documentary or anything.
9 hours or
But
whatever.
I mean, I do remember the year that we had American history in high school.
yeah.
It was like at least a full quarter
Oh, yeah.
that we talked about the
Oh,
Civil
yeah.
War.
Us too. Oh, we covered it.
And I mean,
so, yeah.
It's an important historical event.
Right.
But it's not the most. I mean, it's not the only historical.
Oh, no. Definitely. There's like, the Civil War is important, no doubt. But
Right.
like, arguably the world wars are, I don't know, not more important, but equally
It's
important.
also important.
Yeah, equally
I
important.
mean, Civil War, you have to discuss afterwards what came from it, the
Yes.
Jim Crow laws, all of the further
atrocities.
oppression
Yeah.
of
Of black people.
minorities.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then World War One.
Yeah.
World War One never got enough
Oh, no. It
because
doesn't-
it's
no.
very interesting.
Yes.
In the sense that it led to World War II.
Directly.
Without World War One, there is no Hitler.
Exactly. He is just a frustrated artist
Yeah.
working in
It's-
isolation.
The World Wars are like the Terminator movies.
Yes. Yes.
Without Terminator 1, you don't have Terminator 2.
No.
But no one cares about Terminator 1. Like, they don't care about
Yeah,
the first
it's
one.
true.
They care
It's
about
true.
Terminator 2.
God, what a good analogy, Nathan. We
Thank you.
covered the Civil War.
I've been working on that for years.
Have you?
No.
You got to put that in your set. We covered the Civil War, being from the South, being in Georgia. I think out of spite,
Yeah.
like we covered it
Yeah.
so hard.
I kind of wish honestly, that I could take a history class in the South
Oh, no.
to compare it with mine. Because Kansas,
Yeah.
Kansas is like midway. Like during the Civil War, Kansas was bloody Kansas. It was fought over between the North and the South.
right.
I don't know that anyone ever won. I think both sides just went, I don't care anymore.
Fuck Kansas.
You have a lot of stories about like John Brown going
Yeah,
and murdering
John
people.
Brown's raid.
Yeah.
Do you think the country still feels that way about Kansas? Like, nah, fuck Kansas.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's Kansas's fate for eternity.
Yeah.
They're the biggest things that come from Kansas are politicians where you just go, oh,
Come.
them.
Yeah.
what, Sam Brownback? Why is he talking?
By the way, the punk band from South Africa I was trying to think of
Yeah.
is called National Wake.
Okay.
And they're interesting. I watched a documentary some time ago about punk in South Africa. And they're interesting because it's 2 white guys and 2 black guys.
Oh, that is interesting.
And they are
From South Africa?
From South Africa.
How old are they? Do you know?
70s. They're a lot like the Clash.
So they
got started.
were
Yeah.
pretty rebellious at the time.
Yes, hugely rebellious.
Okay.
And there were a few other bands as well. They weren't the only ones.
That's interesting.
Yeah. God, I can't remember.
That's a documentary someone needs to make.
Super good. It's out there. I can't remember the name of the documentary, but if you do a search,
Yeah.
they're one of the most featured bands in it, I think, because of that, and they're probably one of the best as well.
Interesting.
But yeah, National Wake.
have
They
to
have a
find
great
that.
song called International News, if you want to check it out. And they were directly inspired by like the Sex Pistols and the Clash. Mm-hmm. And they got started pretty early.
I don't know if you know this. I'm going to ask you anyway.
Yeah.
Did the South African government
Uh-huh.
try to squash outside influence from one or both
I think so.
communities?
I think so. I mean, even just thinking about what I learned in that documentary, and even in some of their songs, they talk about how you would go to the movies and like the first 20 minutes is just propaganda before the movie started. Like no trailers, just like, oh, the South African, volleyball team kicked ass this year. And of course that was all the Dutch guys. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like just
Right.
bullshit like that. Just
So
churning it.
So it was less than like during that time, like the Soviet Union,
Yeah.
who was controlling all media.
Right.
But it was still like, yeah, but like, listen to what it was like if we had Fox News broadcast everywhere.
Yeah. From what I understand. And the thing that spits you in the eye about that is like atrocities were happening and like the news consisted of
Yeah.
just white people news,
Yeah,
bullshit
Fox
white people news. Yeah.
You're talking about Fox News.
I am. And also South Africa.
Example, today, 12 people were indicted.
Russians.
12 Russians were indicted in the Mueller probe.
Yes. I feel like we should be having vodka.
Well, I don't know. I feel like that's a little thematic.
Yeah, true.
I don't like it.
True.
Every news source, that was the number one story.
Number one story.
The number one story on Fox News was the violent protest in Britain
Over Trump being there.
Trump being
Yeah.
there. The number two was the Russians being indicted. They can't even admit in a situation where it doesn't really directly relate to Trump.
Yeah.
I mean, like it relates, but it's just they were trying to help him win. And,
Right.
And you can just shrug that off really if you want to. They're not even comfortable shrugging it off. They still have to just shove it off to the side.
It's so ridiculous, man. I can't get past it.
Did you see the picture of the balloon?
Oh yeah,
in
it's
Britain.
the giant Trump baby.
It's Trump in a diaper.
Yeah.
That was the picture on the front page of Fox News when I looked. Because I had to see if they were even reporting the Mueller thing.
Right.
They were way down there. You had to scroll.
Top story everywhere else.
Yeah.
I mean, again, that's why I love British people, right? Like, we have the giant chicken though, the giant blow up chicken.
I did like the chicken.
That was great. That was great. Giant Trump chicken. Yeah.
Yeah, I want more Trump inflatables. I feel like that really gets to him. You know when something gets to him when he doesn't really acknowledge it?
yeah.
Because it's like it hits harder than the stuff he acknowledged.
Like he can't figure out a way to pivot on it because
exactly.
it hurts too much.
And
Yeah.
I mean, because anything like that, normally,
Yeah.
he'd be all over it. But this one, he's like, I can't handle it. It was me floating in the sky in a diaper.
I can see it from Air Force One.
I think more things like that
Yeah.
should be done. I think they should do a whole Trump cabinet of
Inflatables?
inflatables. Yeah.
Well, it's hard because by the time they finish one, someone's left or gotten fired.
It's just constantly replacing an inflatable. And they're not cheap.
No. You could do a Mitch McConnell, though.
Oh, no one wants. Can you imagine a giant Mitch McConnell inflatable and the nightmares that would come forth because of that?
Children would be lost in the wrinkles.
Turtle Man! The Turtle Man's coming!
The neck wrinkles on that guy. My God. I hope he scrubs them real well. I hope he like parts them like labia and has to get in there.
You know what happens. He has hired an illegal immigrant.
Oh boy.
To come in and help him clean out his neck folds.
He does look a bit Palpatine, doesn't he?
That's the only thing illegal immigrants to him would be available to do is neck fold cleaning.
Oh God, that's disgusting. It just occurred to me that he does look like the Emperor from Star Wars, though. A bit. A bit. Put a hood on that guy.
That's true.
Put a hood on him. This is our version of what they did,
And you know what? His attitude, not wildly different.
No. I mean, I think if he could shoot lightning bolts out of his fingers, that he definitely would.
I don't know. I feel like he's so like lackadaisical about everything that he'd be like, I can't reach my arms up that high.
He maybe not even be the Emperor. He may be some person we've never seen in the films. Definitely a character from the prequels who was setting up the Senate and all that.
He's the person behind the scenes of the Emperor just going around, well, I think this. What we should be doing, destroy more planets.
Mitch McConnell, my favorite person to shit on. Hands down.
Well, he's a garbage human being.
Oh, man.
I realized something this week, getting into politics here. Bob Corker leaving.
Tennessee Senate Republican.
Yeah, leaving the Senate.
Yep.
Jeff Flake, Arizona.
Yep.
Republican Senate.
Yeah.
Leaving. It's all garbage Republicans left.
Oh, yeah.
Like, aside from, like, Susan Collins.
Yep.
And, I can't think of her name. The other one that might vote with Democrats occasionally.
Right. She runs a bit independent.
Yeah.
I can't remember her name either, but she's cool.
It's all going to be Tea Party garbage Republicans.
Yeah.
Like, the Republican Party is doing its best to push me as far away from them as possible.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, there used to be a time when I could imagine that there might be a Republican I would vote for.
Yeah. If they were like decent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like our governor in Tennessee, Bill Haslam.
Yeah.
If he ran for Senate, I might vote for him. He's not.
He's not.
He's not running for anything.
No.
He's done.
He's done. He's out.
It's all Diane Black and garbage human beings.
Yeah. No, no one
Not
cares.
Carl Dean.
No, yeah. No. Oh, you mean on the Republican ticket?
Yeah. Republicans are, like, all of the ones taking over are starting at white supremacist level.
Yeah, it's true.
and then moving up slightly to the I'm a hidden white supremacist, but it's kind of implied.
Ever so slightly hidden. Yeah. I don't know. There's an interesting thing, too, about there was a runoff election, and I forget, maybe it was in New York, and it was going to go Democrat, but instead of going to the establishment Democrat, it went to this really young woman, which I thought was really cool. But there was a lot of talk about that being a shakeup for and I think that's true too.
I'm not a fan, though, and let me tell you why.
Yeah.
Nothing against her. She seems like a very nice, pleasant human being. Good person to have in the Senate.
In the mix.
But she's very far left. And you know me. I'm a centrist.
Yeah.
I want centrist on both parties.
Sure.
I want the Jim Coopers.
Yeah.
I want moderate Democrats and Republicans.
Yeah, we love the Coop.
She's like the liberal Tea Party.
Yeah. And that's dangerous too.
It's going to, people were referring to it, and I can't think of the election, but there was a runoff election in 2010 that spurred the whole Tea Party thing.
Yes.
And it was a lot like this.
Yeah.
So now we're going to have far left and far right, potentially, in like a decade or two.
Right. Battling it out over...
and like
no
one guy
ground.
in the middle going, hey! Look at me! I'm in Maryland!
I brought donuts and chicken.
I'm in Maryland. We're kind of the South, but we also like crab. I don't know.
It's weird.
It's
That poor bastard. He's the person who has gum at school.
Yeah.
Who always has gum.
and not fun gum.
No, just gum.
Yeah,
He's got gum.
It's like Trident, and not like the fancy Trident, like the very generic,
Right.
boring Trident gum.
Spearmint.
Yeah.
Just spearmint. But he'll give you a piece because he wants to be your friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's not very interesting on his own.
We had crab. Come eat crab with me. Please.
And one side's like, ew, murder. And the other side is like, I'd rather have a steak.
Yeah. There's no pleasing anyone.
There's no pleasing anyone.
We're
Crab is a very middle of the road food.
That's true.
If you
It's
are
delicious,
not allergic to it,
Oh, it's
you probably
delicious.
like it. I mean, I'm allergic to it, so I can't eat it.
You're allergic to crab?
I am.
I don't even know what you're living for now.
Ham in Spain. Someday.
Spanish ham. That's it.
Which, by the way, this is of interest to no one, but I did hear that there is a tapas, not topless. People always hear it when I say that.
Topless.
Tapas.
Yeah, topless.
Topless tapas bar. That would be.
Oh, man. How is that not a thing already?
What would you call that? You call it TOPAS. Top Oz.
Yeah.
With a hyphen in the middle.
Oh, that's perfect.
Tapas.
That is perfect right there.
We call ourselves somewhat feminist. I am. You're sort of.
Yeah,
that's.
I don't want to get into that rant again.
Two dudes in a basement.
Don't free the nipple. Anyway, go ahead.
There's a tapas bar, restaurant and bar here now, which is the Spanish thing, right? The little plates, Yeah. And they have the
tiny
ham.
shared plates.
Yeah, and that's your dinner. You go to like 8 bars.
Yeah,
you have wine. You have a little plate. You have more wine, little plate. You have, what do they have besides wine? They have like a like sherry. They have all kinds of stuff in Spain. I'm sure they have brandy of some kind. There is Spanish brandy.
I believe it.
Yeah, so there's a restaurant here now for that, and that means I can try the ham, Nathan. When I have the cash.
Is it
not a cheap place?
But the ham,
is
it actually Spanish ham?
Yeah, it's like the Iberian ham.
Okay,
it's the
they're not pulling ham from Eastern Tennessee and going, yeah, it's Spanish.
No, like it's the thing because it's like they have the pig leg. Real vegetarian now, hanging from the ceiling.
That's how you know it's good.
Yeah, and then they take a
They're
knife,
carving it in front of you.
Exactly, and you get a slice that is like paper thin. That's the experience that I want to have.
That sounds good.
Doesn't that sound great?
Yeah, I'm not a ham fan.
Yeah,
but that's the ham I would eat.
It sounds so good.
In my experience, my Midwestern experience, ham comes. Basically spiral cut
yeah
and honey baked, and it's awful. I hate it,
really.
But that ham, I would eat that ham.
Sounds good, right?
I'd eat that ham all day long.
I think they cut you off. I think you only get a little bit.
Nope, I want it all.
Keeps you coming back.
That's like crack.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
They're ham dealers.
You only get a little bit. It keeps you coming back.
First taste is free.
Yeah, you're high for 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's the only ham I can see myself eating.
In the South, ham is what we eat at Christmas. We don't really eat turkey or
see,
anything.
that's a Midwestern thing too.
Ham at Christmas?
Maybe not. It's my in-laws thing.
Yeah.
My grandmother-in-law, my late grandmother-in-law, was from Alabama. So I'm never sure what traditions of theirs are Midwestern
and what are Southern
versus Southern. Because my family didn't do really any of the regional traditions.
Okay.
Like my dad liked ham, but he wanted ham all the time. So that doesn't count as a tradition. That's just he wants ham. Yeah. That's a preference. But my in-laws, it's the honey baked ham every Christmas.
Yeah.
And my sister-in-law, the one older than my wife, who is more domineering and also way more set on traditions.
You've explained this before.
Yeah.
This is
Like
the ice skating.
Oh yeah,
sister-in-law.
She is dead set on traditions.
Yeah.
Thinks we have to have honey baked ham every year.
That's brand
Now,
loyalty.
I don't like honey baked ham, and also I have looked up the nutrition facts of honey baked ham, which means I know I don't like it, and I also know it's not good for me.
Oh yeah. It's a double. Well,
And so I have to, like, the last time we did it, I had to take a tiny piece because I knew if I didn't take a tiny piece, they'd all be going, well, there's ham up there. Why don't you take some ham? And I don't want to do that. And their side dishes aren't much healthier, but at least I like them better.
sure.
So it's like a like $2 silver size slice of ham.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna have. And then side dishes. And even then they're still going, well, there's more ham. I don't want your fucking ham. Keep your ham to yourself. I'm not interested.
Honey baked ham is one of those.
I don't want sweet meat. It's an issue I have, I'm aware, but I want my meat savory. It's the way it was meant to be.
You're much more of a beef log guy.
Exactly. I would 100% rather have a beef log, a salami, anything like that
Yeah.
over a stupid honey baked ham.
To me, that
What's with the glaze? Why are you glazing a ham?
to me, honey baked ham is like one of those only in America kind of things.
Oh, every other country would look at that and go, "What? Why are you
they would
That's
go.
two separate foods that you're putting together for no reason."
They would also go like, "That's a year's salary."
Yeah. They're not cheap.
No.
Have you looked at how much they are?
I don't know how much, but I know they're not cheap.
I looked them up. I'm glad you haven't. My sister-in-law bought the last one for the whole family. It was, I want to say $60-some
Wow.
for a honey baked ham
Wow.
that I didn't want, and I'm going to go ahead and assume no one else really cared about. 'Cause she's the traditional.
She's the one that wanted it.
Everyone else is like, okay, fine, whatever. She's the one who wanted it. She paid $60+, probably closer to 70, like high 60s.
Taxes.
Yeah. To get a ham that no one wanted to eat. Particularly me.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of money to spend for a manufactured feeling.
Yeah.
That doesn't come true.
And then I have an additional issue with it where, like, my in-laws are all very conservative.
Yes.
The worst thing in the world would be them thinking I went vegetarian.
Oh, yeah.
Not because I care,
Right.
but because I would constantly have to hear things about, well, look at this meat, it's really good. Not vegetarian, just didn't eat your fucking ham. It's awful. So that would be the worst thing. So I have to eat at least enough that they notice I'm eating the ham.
Passable amount.
Yeah.
Yeah. The ham is your beard.
Okay.
The small amount that you eat is your beard.
Okay.
If you were gay,
Yeah. Yeah.
the ham would be
Yeah.
the girlfriend you brought.
That's not even true though. The ham would be the good girl I bring home
Yeah.
to distract from all the other girls I'm spending time with. Like, I eat lots of meat. Oh, meat is good. Chicken, I'll eat that all day. Beef, sure, why not? Ham, no thanks.
The turkey that they have is sad. The honey baked turkey.
I've never seen it.
It's a small. You could put it in your two hands.
Oh.
And it was probably $40, and it's swimming in glaze.
Oh,
it's not just glaze.
Why would you glaze a turkey? A turkey is fine the way it comes.
Actually, the only way to improve on a turkey is fucking gravy.
Well, I'm not going to argue with that.
Yeah.
Gravy or that post Thanksgiving sandwich with all the crabs on it.
That's where it's at. That's where it's at.
That's the only way to improve. Glazing it makes it worse. Then you have to put more gravy on it to counteract the glaze. Pretty soon you're dying at 30 because you had a heart attack.
That would taste horrible.
Yeah.
All that sugar with all that salt on it?
Mm-hmm. I mean, sweet and salty. People love it. Apparently that's why honey-baked ham exists. I don't get it.
Guys, I'm going to give Nathan just a second to calm down.
Yeah.
He's looking red.
Man.
He's looking like he had a bunch of honey-baked ham.
If
and
I
his
had
blood
a honey-baked
pressure-
ham right now, I would punch it.
I would pay to see that in slow motion. And the glaze like crunches across your knuckles.
In my head, what it looks like is like a Rocky montage.
Yeah.
It's me training, just, jabs to a honey baked ham over and over.
And I'm in the back, with a knife, like slicing up little
Hit him,
slivers.
Nathan! Hit him!
Just enjoying my Iberian ham. And you get so worked up that you almost punch that, and then I clock you because that's my fucking ham.
Right. I don't mess with your ham.
No.
I've learned that lesson.
This is D ham you're punching. This is F level ham.
If you want a sure way to die in life, find a person who is like a casual vegetarian, and then find the one meat they're passionate about and punch it. They will murder you.
Sounds a lot like me. Right
That's
now.
what I'm saying. If I were to punch your ham, the one meat you want, the only meat in the world that you're really interested in.
There has to be something. Punch the ham. Punch your ham. That has to mean.
I'm sure
that's
got to be on Urban Dictionary
That's
right
like
there.
a triple entendre. I don't even know how many entendres are contained within that. Not Punch Brothers. Punch your
ham.
Punch your buns. Punch your lights out. Punch your
Punch
ticket.
your buns.
Punch your ham.
Who's saying punch your buns?
Who is bending over to punch someone in the ass?
I feel like that's a youth group version of something. I'm gonna punch your buns.
Hit the ham is
Hit the
apparently a thing.
What's that?
Let's see. Urban Dictionary. Oh boy.
Oh. Man.
Oh boy. I can tell this is
It's
not
going to
going to be
involve
good.
semen. I know it.
Masturbating.
There we go.
That's
All
it.
right.
I just hit the ham. That's the phrase.
So there we go.
Hashtag hit, hashtag ham, hashtag whack, hashtag jerk, hashtag walrus? I don't need to know.
I guess that means that I was inadvertently talking about jerking you off.
Is this a dream you had? Before it gets real weird, Sushi Jackknife.
Sushi Jackknife.